try to get more from you when you got there?
Yes.
So to reduce your time?
Yes. The feds asked me that, yes.
And you were
I
like,
told
I'm
them,
good.
hey, listen, hey, man, hey, how long y'all gonna have me here? Because I'm getting tired, I wanna go to sleep. And they took me in a room kind of like this. I just went to sleep. And I guess if they seen I wasn't gonna tell.
Bitch, I'm telling you now, I ain't the one to play the game with you.
Walk in there.
They in there.
But do you feel as if though you're a totally different person?
I do. I feel like I done grown and matured. Like, the person I was at 10 years ago, I'm not the same person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the person I used to be, I'm nowhere near that. Like, I'm way more mature. I'm way nicer. I'm way I'm just not the same, just mean person that I used to be. I used to be just always kind of pessimistic. You know what I'm saying? Now I ain't pessimistic. Now I'm optimistic. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm total opposite. Now I can see good and stuff where I used to always see bad. I used to be closed book. Now I'm an open book.
Something just happened in rap that most people are completely overlooking. But if you understand timing, loyalty, and power in hip-hop, this looks less like a coincidence and more like the beginning of a new chapter nobody is ready for. Because after 5 years in federal prison, Foogiano is finally free. And the moment he stepped out, everything around him was already on fire, a label in chaos, a CEO surrounded by controversy, former artists tied to serious federal allegations, and an industry watching 1017 fall apart in real time. But here's the part that makes this story feel different. Foogiano didn't just come home, he came home to a war zone. And the question everyone is now asking is simple: was his return planned? Or is he walking straight into something much bigger than music? And to understand why this moment matters so much, we have to go back to where all of this actually started. Foogiano didn't come from a major city or a famous rap scene. He came from Greensboro, Georgia, a place where nobody is handed opportunities. They're created out of survival. His real name, Wami Khalil Brown, grew up in an environment where choices were limited and consequences were immediate. And by the time he was still a teenager, life already took a sharp turn. A family truth changed everything he thought he knew. The streets became his environment, not by choice, but by pressure. And once that lifestyle starts at a young age, it rarely slows down. By 2013, he was already facing serious charges: burglary, robbery, time behind bars. Most people would have disappeared after that. But Foogiano didn't. Instead, prison became something else for him. Not the end, but the reset. Because when he came back out, he wasn't done. He was just getting started. But what he didn't know yet was that music was about to change everything. When Foogiano returned to the streets, something shifted. He wasn't just moving differently, he was thinking differently. Music became the escape route, and not long after, he dropped records that started circulating locally. One track in particular began building real momentum: Molly, Baby Mama. At first, it wasn't industry pushed, it wasn't manufactured, it was organic street buzz. The kind that spreads before labels even notice. And then something important happened. People started paying attention. Streams went up, his name started moving outside of Georgia. And eventually, it reached one of the most important ears in Atlanta rap: Gucci Mane. The same man known for building careers out of street talent saw something in Foogiano, and in 2020, he signed him to 1017 Records. That moment changed everything, because suddenly, Foogiano wasn't just a local artist anymore, he was part of a movement. His debut project Guta Baby made impact fast, charts responded, fans responded, and 1017 looked like it was entering a new golden wave. But just as quickly as things rose, they started to shift in a direction nobody expected. And that's where everything began to unravel. December 2020 changed Foogiano's entire trajectory. He was arrested on a federal firearm-related charge tied to prior convictions. Because of his record, even possession alone became a serious violation. He was released under strict conditions: an ankle monitor, and a rule that kept him confined to Georgia. For most artists, that would mean slowing down, laying low, staying clean until everything is resolved. But that's not what happened. Because according to reports and allegations circulating at the time, Foogiano made a different decision. At one point, his monitoring device was reportedly removed, and instead of waiting for the system to catch up, he disappeared. 3 months on the run, performing shows, still moving like nothing had changed. even reportedly asking crowds one question during performances: "If police come in here, are y'all letting them take me?" And the crowd would respond with chaos. It was defiance, it was confidence, but it was also a countdown. Because eventually, federal authorities caught up with him in Memphis. And in 2021, Foogiano was sentenced to 5 years in federal prison. A sudden stop to what looked like a rising career. But what happened next wasn't just about him, because while he was gone, 1017 started collapsing in ways nobody could control. While Foogiano was inside, 1017 was still active. But it wasn't stable. Big Scar was rising, then tragically passed away. Enchanting, another rising artist, also passed away later. Pooh Shiesty, one of the biggest names on the label, became involved in a serious federal case tied to an alleged armed incident in a studio dispute. Big 30 and others were also pulled into surrounding legal attention and controversy. One by one, the structure started weakening. What was once a rising collective turned into a label surrounded by loss, legal pressure, and uncertainty. And then came the moment that shocked the industry. Gucci Mane publicly stated he would be restructuring 1017 and releasing most of his roster, except 2 names, Pooh Shiesty and Foogiano. But here's the twist nobody ignored. At the time of that statement, both were already behind bars. The foundation of the label suddenly looked unstable. And the narrative around 1017 began to shift from success to survival. But things were about to get even more controversial, because the next move changed everything. Years later, as legal tensions and label controversy continued to build, Gucci Mane released a record that shook the internet, Crash Dummy. The track didn't directly name names, but the message was clear enough for everyone to connect the dots. The lyrics referenced betrayal, setups, and feeling blindsided by people close to him. The internet immediately split in two. Some saw it as honesty, others saw it as a breaking point. Industry voices weighed in. Criticism followed. Debates about loyalty, street culture, and responsibility exploded across social media. And just when the conversation couldn't get louder, something unexpected happened. April 2026. After 5 years in federal prison, Foogiano was released. And almost instantly, people started noticing something unusual. There was no long statement, no media rollout, no dramatic return interview, just a few images circulating online. Smiling, calm, unchanged energy. But what made it powerful wasn't what he said. It was the timing. Because he came home at the exact moment 1017 was at its most unstable point in years. Gucci Mane under scrutiny, former artists tied to serious allegations, the label's reputation being debated in real time, and Pooh Shiesty still locked in legal proceedings tied to a major federal case. And now, Foogiano is the last active 1017 artist standing outside prison, which immediately led the internet to one conclusion. This isn't just a comeback, it's a reset point, but nobody knows for who. What makes this situation even more intense is what Foogiano has not done. No interviews, no explanations, no public alignment, just silence. And in hip-hop, silence is never neutral. It always gets interpreted. Fans started analyzing everything: the timing of his release, the state of the label, the controversy surrounding recent events. And suddenly, Foogiano wasn't just an artist returning from prison, he became a symbol. Some people see him as loyalty returning to rebuild 1017. Others see him as someone walking into a collapsing system. And a few believe something else entirely: that his silence is intentional, that he's observing everything before making a move. Because 5 years in prison doesn't just change a person's freedom, it changes perspective. And now, he's in the most powerful position of all, the one person who hasn't revealed their hand yet. So now everything comes down to one thing. What does Foogiano do next? Does he stay loyal to Gucci Mane and try to rebuild 1017 from the inside? Does he leave and go independent, cutting ties with a label surrounded by chaos? Or does he eventually speak and shift the entire narrative in a way nobody is ready for? Because right now, every major figure in this situation has already made their move. Gucci has made his. Pooh Shiesty made his. The industry has reacted. The internet has judged. But Foogiano, he's still standing in the middle, quiet, watching. And that silence might be the most powerful statement of all. Because in stories like this, the comeback is never the real moment. It's what comes after. And right now, nobody knows what that is yet. But everyone is waiting. And when it happens, it won't just change Foogiano's story. It might change 1017 forever.